Hello, everybody. It's been a while. So I'm gonna stream today and hopefully every other week. But today, a lot of cool things I want to talk about. So we'll go through that. We'll see what will happen. But I hope you all been doing awesome. I don't expect a lot of people show up. I'm showing up today because I haven't shown up in a while because I've been really busy. And today is my birthday. So I'm pretty excited about that. So pretty excited to be even older. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's my birthday today. So pretty excited, but welcome to all of you here. And I just want to get back to regular streaming schedule. It's been a while. And it's life. It's very, like, obviously I'm not a YouTuber. I have like a job that I do. And as much as like, wouldn't be amazing to live in a world where you are a YouTuber that makes $1 million. Unfortunately, that's a reality that is reached by few. And also, I don't think that's how I want to make my main income, is being a YouTuber. I want to be a developer, right? I want to talk about how I got into development, to share my story, but I don't really, see myself just making videos for the sake of YouTube. And a lot of times that's why, and thank you for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Uncle Gary's here. Kevin's here. Jazz here. Great to see all of you. Yeah, and so for me, like, my goal when I started YouTube is not so much like, let me become a YouTuber. No, my goal is like, let me highlight and share my journey of how I got my first job as a developer and how I continued to grow as a developer, right? And the reason why I do that is because I just want to give you realistic expectations of what to expect, because there's a lot of YouTubers out there that hype up certain things. I mean, look at the state of ChatGPT and the crazy hype. Like, the hype is real. Like, what people say ChatGPT can do versus what it could actually do, it's pretty ridiculous. And so a lot of people are getting either scared off or they're like, whatever. And so some people are like, I don't need to learn to code because I'll solve everything with ChatGPT. Or some people saying like, I don't need to learn to code because ChatGPT will take all of our jobs. But the truth is, no, ChatGPT is just another tool, and it's not even at that point where it could even do those things effectively that people are afraid of. Of course, the landscape of the world is going to change due to AI and all this other stuff, and so you have to be ready. And so today, and oh my gosh, all these happy birthday wishes. Thank you, Horace. Thank you, Nabil. Thank you, Ankita. Really great to see everybody here. Yeah, and so yeah, so don't worry about it. If you're looking to switch careers, definitely go ahead and do so. There's definitely going to be opportunity for you. And so the title of the stream, do I go back to school? And I'm going to share my thoughts about it and what I think is the fastest way to get hired. And if you're already working, that's great. If you're not working and you're striving to work, I'm going to tell you the things that worked for me and why they worked. I'm celebrating. I stopped counting after 40. And so I'm celebrating my 43rd birthday. I probably was telling people I was already 43 to prepare myself mentally to Jesus Christ like moment where you're like, oh my God, I'm closer to 50 than I am to like the time I went to school originally. And it's pretty insane, but it's all in your attitude. So I just act like immature-ish teenager. And so people treat me like a teenager. Hey, what's up, Cody? No audio, no worries. Thank you. Great to see you. Yeah, and WebDev Cody is awesome. He's been very supportive of my YouTube and everything else. And I've been a guest on his channel, and we got to get him to come here. But if you're not familiar with that WebDev Cody, definitely check out his channel. Mikhail, thank you. Happy birthday. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. Turning older, 43, and age is just a number. That's what people say. I don't know if that's how my body feels every time I wake up in the morning. I've been going to, because I love like martial arts, and I want to get back into more group exercising where you like get out of your house, exercise with other people. So I've been going back to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts and my Thai training. And there's like these 22, 23-year-olds, and they're always, hey, you want to fight? I'm like, no, I don't want to fight. I come here to, you know, like get in shape, not to fight you, you know. It's like, so I just want to have fun. But it's so funny, age does play a role, but you got to make the best of it. And with age, you know, comes different things that you explore. And so this topic, what I wanted to talk about, so first let me talk to you about how, like, quickly review, like, how did I get my first job? What was my path to it? I'm going to talk about two different paths, and why am I deciding, because I don't know if I decided yet, like going back to school. I want to share that with you. And the reason why I'm doing it now, and what is the process, like the path that I'm going to take, if I am going to take it, to kind of give people a couple of different options. And depending where you live, sometimes like going to universities is required. I know in India, like if you don't have a degree, you're like, there's no way you're going to get hired. I don't think it's even possible. And a lot of people, they have, you know, their masters or what have you. And so it's a big thing to consider. And so for those of you that don't know, or probably know, I switched careers in my late 30s. And so I got my real first job, even though I had some jobs prior to that. They were either contractor roles, freelancing, but I got my real first dev job where I would work, 9 to 5 at the age of 39. I started to learn to code like seriously around 35, 36, but I still made a lot of mistakes, but it was a journey to get hired. So this idea that after 6 months of study, you could get hired, maybe, but give yourself more to a year and a half, possibly 2 years timeline, set those expectations right. And so I started trying to learn everything under the sun. And the mistake with learning everything under the sun is that, guess what? You don't have a focus. You're very kind of too broad. And it's very, very hard to kind of figure out what you need to learn. And so for me, it wasn't until I decided that I'm like, hey, you need to have a very good plan that is structured, and you have to pick one kind of like path. And so what I ended up doing, and a lot of you probably seen this, but I ended up deciding, you know what, I'm going to focus on JavaScript. And Tushar, thank you for the happy birthday. I'm going to focus on JavaScript, and I'm going to pursue getting hired as a React developer. And so I created this basic roadmap, and I went the self-taught route. I didn't go to boot camp. I basically like, you know what, I'm going to decide to become a React developer. What are the important things I need to learn? So I was like, GitHub, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, consuming API database. I updated this roadmap. I guess the changes didn't take. Nowadays, like if you're learning to code, it's very important to learn Next.js and TypeScript if you're looking to get hired. I thought I updated it. Maybe I didn't. Is it here somewhere? Is there like a new roadmap somewhere? No. Anyway, but basically I decided I'm going to become a React developer, and I just focus on learning everything I need to do to be productive as a React developer. So in my sense, it was like learn HTML, CSS, and Sass, learn JavaScript, learn React, learn how to consume APIs, learn the basics of database. Node you could leave off for now, but what I would add here is, and I thought I added to this roadmap, is like learn TypeScript and learn Next.js and build like 3 to 4 like good projects for your portfolio. And more importantly, have one project that's kind of like your cornerstone project, which is, it showcases how to have users, how to have different users, different like information related to them, how to have full CRUD with authentication. And people a lot of times ask me like, well, that's like full stack development. Like, how do you able to create an app that simulates full stack as a front-end developer? And for me, that's how I discovered headless CMSs. And this is how I discovered Strappy. And Strappy allowed me to build full stack applications as a front-end developer. So my first job, I got hired as a front-end developer. And so I worked as a React developer. The first company was called VersaSuite, where I got hired. And they're like, hey, listen, if you want to stay here, you need to learn C#, because that's what our backend is. I started learning C#. And so I worked mostly on the front end. And then if I needed to go in the back end, like when I was testing things and the back end was weird, I needed to be kind of understand the code enough to be able to troubleshoot it, and then eventually how to, fix the controller, the service that was having an issue in the backend developer, but not really needing to build anything from scratch. So I started to kind of slowly understand this concept of full stack, but I still consider, even to this day, a front-end developer, even though I'm making the change to full stack. So after working at VersaSuite for 1 year and a half, to get that experience, going from not having any to having a year and a half experience is very important. And again, I got this all because I went the self-taught path, had really good projects that I built to showcase that now looking at them weren't that good, but with time, I guess you get better. And so the things you did before don't seem that good, but it was enough for me to get hired. And after that, after working there for a year and a half, I got a second job working at a company called, is Cold Fusion still a language used by devs? Good Lord. I don't know. I don't think so. I have no idea, to be honest. I know a friend of mine used to use it all the time, but I haven't even looked into that. That's like crazy. In the comment, if people know, let me know. And Raphael saying happy birthday. Well, thank you for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. And so after working at VersaSuite, I got my second job working at this company called Red Hawk Research, which was pretty awesome because I got hired there as a React developer to build out a POC and then turn it into a minimal viable product. And I only had one kind of manager over me, more like a designer slash product manager, who created all the mockups and kind of said, this is what the application should look like. And I was in charge of building out the front end and implementing everything. And the cool story about that job is that they were originally going to build their backend with Python, either using Django or what have you, because that's what their main product was built with. But they couldn't afford to take away their Python developers, it was a small company, to work on this other project. So I came in and said, hey, we could build a whole backend by using Strapi because I was familiar with it. And so I ended up building a POC that the team liked. And then I continued building the project until we got an MVP. And then a year later, I actually applied to Strapi, got hired there because I love Strapi, and I worked at Strapi, which is pretty amazing. And so all of that path I took, right? It was going from a self-taught developer, getting your first experience. And once you get your first experience, once you get your second job, getting your third job becomes a little bit easier. There's always that stress about interviewing, and I never was good at whiteboarding interviews. But now that I've been working as a developer almost 4 years, right? I'm trying to figure out what is the next step, what is the next path for me, and I really been enjoying this AI hype or non-hype, depending who you talk to. And I really been was like, well, you know what? I would love to learn more about it. Like it's gonna seem interesting and exciting. And so I was like, what can I do? Like, what path do I see for myself, to continue growing in this field? Another thing that I want to put all these things out there as a perspective so people could understand my situation. Your situation might be different. And so my daughter is 23 years old. I had her when I was 19. I am not married. I'm single. I'm my family journey, right? I had my family. My daughter got older, and then she left the house because I started it so early, right? At 19. Now in my early 40s, mid 40s. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh God. I am don't have that family responsibility. And so I don't go out drinking all the time. I don't go party all the time. I don't try to go and chase tail, whatever. Because to me, I want to do things now that I find fulfillment, right? And so I love coding. I love making music. I suck at it. And so I was like, you know what? You've been working as a developer for 4 years almost. You don't need to go back to school. You proved your point. You already have things, right? You could just continue learning on your own. And there's websites like Coursera. There's Khan Academy, which Khan Academy is awesome. I needed to brush up on my basic math. So I've been going to Khan Academy. So I could then, when I go and take classes, I could start with, the right math at the right level for me. And so it's been amazing. And so when you're starting out, what I would say the fastest way to get hired is as a front-end developer. It is Brian is hilarious. So Brian and I, we both went to MCC, Manchester Community College in Connecticut. I love Brian. Brian is awesome. I hope you're doing really good, and your family is great. And hilarious, we met at the public speaking class, which I was really bad at. But people don't believe me now that I could talk forever and not worry about it. But I don't even know how I passed that public speaking class now, because I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm probably gonna go to some place around here, not moving back to Connecticut. By the way, Brian, I'm gonna be in Connecticut from July 13th to July 17th. If you're around, let's hook up, let's grab lunch. That'll be super amazing. And so anyway, like, focus on the front-end development. I still believe it's the fastest way to get hired. People argue that, like, I'm going to go full stack or I'm going to go back end. That takes so much more knowledge that it's going to add more time to your learning journey. So go the route I did with front end, get hired. And guess what? Like I said, at my first job, I got hired and I started learning back end development right away. And so here's the thing, like, you're able to get hired. It's not going to be easy, but it's possible. It's not impossible. But once you're hired, once you're making an income, and in my situation where, you know, my family responsibilities are not the same as someone who has little kids and married. So you got to take all those things into account. I have a lot of free time. And so for me, I'm not going back to school like because I need to, as weirdly as it sounds. I'm going to school because I actually want to. I want to learn certain things, and I want to go back and get a computer science degree, but focus more on artificial intelligence. And I don't really care when I graduate, to be honest. And so people are like, man, like, why are you doing it? Why are you going back to school? Well, I told you, because number one, after COVID happened, I don't think, are you allowed to say COVID on YouTube? I have no idea. Thank you for the birthday wishes, by the way, everybody. I love you all. Near Pay, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Yeah, super cool. But anyway, like, why am I going back to school? And so like I said, I'm at a point in my life where if I don't do anything, it's so easy for me to stay at home and just like sit in front of my computer. And I don't really like, this is going to sound so dumb. Trust me, I want to go to school for learning purposes too. But I want to find like more friends. I want to find more people to hang out. That's why I go to places outside of my home, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, I go to yoga classes sometimes. You know, I don't go to bars much, and I don't think I'm going to find the quality of person that I like. There's nothing wrong going to bars, but I just not my scene. I don't go to clubs anymore. Like, they'll be kind of weird being 43 going to the club going, no, it just doesn't work. And so I was like, I want to go out to places where I meet like-minded individuals. That's why I go to meetups. And there's an amazing meetup in Austin, Texas, Remix Austin meetup. Pretty awesome. By the way, if you're not going to meetups, go to meetups because there's so much opportunity. I started as a Remix noob going to a meetup here in Austin for Remix meetup, and through my interaction, through giving some talks there, I ended up doing a talk at the Remix Conf that happened in Salt Lake City, which was pretty like excited. And so why am I going back to school? And please note, like, going to school is like 4-year commitment, and that's a long time. So if you're looking to get hired, you got to really weigh your options. If you're super young, if you're like 18, 19, like in your early 20s, 100% go to school. Because not because you're going to get an education and a degree, like that's cool, but it's because you're going to have a very good social time. And yeah, don't go to school online, go in person. You're going to have an amazing interaction. You're going to meet new friends. You're going to meet people. You're going to have a relationship for the remainder of your life. And so definitely do that. So for me, you know, I ended up going self-taught, get your first job, really took a lot of work, really hard. Now that I've been working, and now I have this free time based on my situation, some people are like, oh, you're so lucky. Well, you know, you could have kids at 19 and then they'll get old when you're in your early 40s, and then you'll have all this free time, and then you could get divorced, and then you don't have a spouse. Like, it's not like it's an amazing trade-off, but the fact that it's a fact, I was like, you know what? I have all this free time. I love all the stuff I do with programming. I love where AI is going. And so I decided, let me go to school. And so the path that I'm going to take, I'm going to go back, do 2 years in a community college because it's very affordable, like really affordable. and I get, 2 years of credits that I could then transfer to another school. And so what I decided, I'm going to focus on computer science, get the 2 years out of the way, and then transfer to university in Texas, also a state school, because I would never go to school if I knew that my debt would be super, super crazy, right? Like in 100,000s. Like when I went to college the first time when I dropped out, my 1 year of school back in 1998 was $45,000 a year. Jesus Christ. And so for me, like right now I'm making like a decent income. Going to MCC, Manchester Community School, it's very, very affordable. And then going to a state school is going to be a little bit more expensive, but I'm not going to get into more debt than maybe like $25,000 for the whole thing, and which is already a lot, but to me, like spread out over 4 years, like it's not bad. And so why am I going back to school? Like, because clearly I don't have to. Like I have a job, I have a good gig, I could continue developing my experience through my work and learn all this stuff on my own. So 3 reasons. Number one, I want to do things that motivate me from getting out of the house. I want to meet other people. And so I want to physically go to class. I love learning new things. I'm doing it anyway, like at home. And so let me at least do it outside of the house so I could meet new people. The second thing is that I do want to explore this whole idea of artificial intelligence. And so I do want to get more structured learning in that field, like learn more about machine learning, learn about how to train models. Am I going to switch careers and become AI scientist? No, but I just want to know more about it because I like it. I'm not like I said, I'm not going back to school because I need to, it's because I want to. And the most important reason for me, the third reason why I decided to go back to school is because my daughter, when she graduated high school, she started with the Navy, because I told her, listen, you grew up in America. I think it'll be wonderful for you to go travel and see the world. I want you to go live in other places. She's been living in Japan for 3 years. She's been all over the world with the Navy. And when you finish your service, which she's almost done, you come back and you go to the university. Number one, you're a little bit more mature, which she is, which is awesome. Number two, now you could focus on doing the thing that you want to get the degree that you want. And I'm also pushing her into like computer science, but whatever she decides to take, it's fine. It's all good. But what I want her to see is that there's no like excuse for not going back to school if you want to, right? And so I don't want her to feel when she graduates out of the Navy that no one in her family like is leading by example. And so as I'm going to go to school, she's going to be going to school, and we're going to have something that we could both talk about, our experience about learning. And so for me, it's more of doing something cool that like my daughter is also going to be going through, and it's going to be part of our lives. And so I don't want to be like, she's going through all this stuff, going to school. Oh my God, I just saw my cat jump onto the refrigerator on top of like the bunch of stuff, and then jumping back down, completely skip the refrigerator, which is crazy. Oh my cats are crazy. But anyway, I want to do something where when my sister, she's like, oh, my dad is going back to school. I guess that's like fairly normal. I'm not going to feel intimidated being in the Navy for like 5 years and coming back and going back to school. That's normal. My sister just went back to get a degree. And so we want to create an environment where we support our daughter, not through like telling her what to do, but through having people in the family actually going through the same thing she's doing. So she watches, right? Don't tell, show. And she'll see like, hey, my dad is learning. He's complaining about his class, but he's still doing it. Because one thing that I found with like the new generation, and my daughter is fairly disciplined, so like I don't blame her. Like, dude, Bram Bogey, amazing dude. He helped me yesterday with my plugin. He's in the Strappy community. Join us on Discord. He says, funny thing is, in Netherlands, depending on the level of education, your government will forgive you your loan. That is amazing. They don't have anything like that here. So in US, like speaking of like schools, the US has probably like the most expensive schools, and they're not really subsidized by the government much. So you do have to take a loan out, which are pretty crazy. I have a friend, he's a little bit older than I am. He's still paying off his college education. It's too expensive. And so if I didn't go 2 years at a community college and 2 years in a state school, I would not go back to school. I would not justify getting into more debt just to get an education. And you could still get a lot of education online, but I have many, many personal reasons. And the main one is not to get a degree. Like, I don't really care for a degree, because my mentality is, if like I want to like build something, I'm going to build it. I'm going to learn online through all these resources. And I'm more like entrepreneurial. I'm not thinking like, how can I get my next job? I'm thinking about, what do I need to learn in order to build my SaaS product and have my own business? And if you're always thinking entrepreneurial, my own business, college degree probably is irrelevant. But if you want to have some sort of benefit of getting hired somewhere, they help. Whoever tells you you don't need to go to college, it's not true. Like you could do it without college, but it helps. And someone did whoever does that yearly tech polling, I forgot what it was. They did a poll, and it's 75% of people that work in the tech industry have a degree, and 25 don't, which is a good sign. Which, like, I got in without a college degree. A lot of people I know that got in without a college degree. But now I want to go do the thing. But let me quickly look at the comments before I get here. What's your daughter going to school for? I want her to move to Texas, and I want her to go to school here. So I'll keep you posted on that. Again, like, I don't push her. So I'm just like, if this is something you want to do, definitely do. And then Code on Block says, I've been thinking of taking some classes. Well, being self-taught, I feel there are slight gaps in my learning, core computer science, topics like how things work at low level. And as a programmer, you don't generally need to know that stuff, especially as a web dev, but I feel it helps understand computers. The more, I would say, the more you lean into backend or full stack, like some of that stuff does become important, and much as you can in order to be a better optimized on how things work under the hood, for sure. And so for me, I don't even right. And so you could get really far. And like I said, I wanted to be transparent. I'm not like you can definitely get a job without a college degree. Like, you can do it. It's hard. You could also go to college and have a hard time getting a job, which is also hard. But the paper helps when you're working for somebody else. It just does. I don't, let's not argue with the truth. And if you, for instance, if someone has a diploma and you don't, you need to do extra work to show, either through your portfolio or previous job experience, that you qualify for the position. Where someone with a diploma, they just have the diploma. And so it's not impossible. You just have to show more stuff that shows your expertise. Like, when I first started applying to jobs, I was, again, in my late 30s, and I was like, oh, people are not hiring me because I'm too old. Maybe that was true, but I realized really quickly people weren't hiring me is because my skill was not up to the level that they expect you to have for that job. And so I just continue to improve, get better, and so on. No. I'm still at Strappy. Strappy all the way. I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting Strappy. Strappy better fire me if they want me to leave that place. I love Strappy. I love the company. The company is amazing. The benefits are amazing. But like I said, I'm not, so people have hobbies, and this is going to sound stupid, and it literally sounds pretentious. I'm literally going to school because, number one, to support my daughter in the process, so she has someone who's also going through the similar thing, and we could talk about it, and we could talk about our homework together. And so it's the whole thing, let's do this together. Number two, I really want to learn more things, and I've been taking classes on Coursera, but online classes to me are super boring. You don't get to meet cool people. You don't get to hang out with people outside of class. And so I want to go for that social. And again, let me be clear, I'm not going back to school the normal route, meaning just any university, because that's going to be too expensive, and I don't need no debt. I don't need to get into debt to get in, I don't think it's worth it at my age, because, I'm 43 now, and it's I'm half through my life. And so to me, I'm going to go the community college route, and then I'm going to transfer the last 2 years to a regular university. And the reason why I'm doing it, again, is because I want to do something productive, something to me that I enjoy, find rewarding. I don't need to go to school because I need it. I want to. And so this is the decision I made. And so when someone is now going to be like, oh man, you're getting a college degree because you can't get hired without a college degree. No, you can get hired without a college degree. It's very difficult. But again, college, university takes 4 years. You could start learning to code on your own for a year, year and a half, 2 years, get a job, work 2 years, get work experience. Now you're working for a company, you're making decent money, and now you're able to go back to school. And some companies, they have a budget that they'll allow you to use for some of your classes. I know Strappy has it. I didn't talk about this because I didn't 100% make it a commitment. I'm actually, but most likely, again, I'm going to go back to school because I want to have something that both my daughter and I, when she goes to school, we have something to talk about. My daughter and I don't know if you knew, her mom passed away last year in a car accident. And so I always try to find bonding things we could do together where it's not me telling her how to live her life, but we're both going through the same kind of story, the same process. So to me, it made sense and it made like a perfect excuse. Like if I were to find an excuse to go back to school, this would be it. My daughter's going to be going to university, so let me go back to university to go to. I'm laughing because I'm reading Kilo's comment. To go to university, so we share like the same story, same experience. And Code on Black says, haha, yeah, I've been employed for 4 years, but the learning never stops. I work remote, so I can relate to the social. I don't get out as much as I like to. Yeah, 100%. And that was like the thing for me, for sure. And literally, like I don't go to bars. Like I said, I don't go to bars. I don't chase tail. It's nothing wrong with any of those things. I have certain things that I value more. And now, like I already do a lot of studying like online. I enjoy it. I really want to get into this computer science field. So like I want to go do computer science with focus on AI and stuff like that. And I already been taking some courses like on Coursera online, and like the learning never stops. And for me, it's just something that I think is going to add positive value to my life. And that's why I want to do that. And so anyway, because of the things with like my daughter, like we literally just us two. It's like me and her in terms of like, I mean, we have other family members as well. And so we try to be very, very close to each other because literally like we are each other's support team. And so to me, like it was like perfect like storm of things. Like, hey, she's coming back from the Navy. She's going to be going to university. Dude, you should go to university too. And that way you and your daughter like could share cool things about doing things together. And to me, that's the most important part. Like to me, like this is going to be sounding stupid. Like I'll back up here for a second. First, let me answer. Kilos here said, I just said a little title of the stream, thought I'd check you didn't quit or get fired in a spectacular way. Dude, I hope that doesn't happen. No, I love Strappy. I want to continue working there as long as they let me. And thank you for that. Last year and this year, it's been like really, really fire. Really crazy for me. But thank you. And your reason to go back to school are sound. All the best, Paul. The learning never stops. Yeah, and 100%. But anyway, so the thing that I was going to say, like I worked with this guy who was a crazy entrepreneur, too crazy. And like his thought is, why would I go to school if I could just like learn it on my own and then just build a business around it? And he made it sound like so easy, but he was so motivated and so like crazy that he would do that. And he started a bunch of successful businesses, and he totally was like going to school in his mind is a waste of time. And listen, if you're going to start your own business and you know the skill, like if you have no skill, yeah, you need to get an education of some sort. Wherever you get it, you still need it. But as an entrepreneur, he's like, I don't really need the degree. It's not like I don't need to get a job. I'm going to build my own company, my own thing. Like, and so to them, in that mindset, you need that experience. Someone who clearly just wants to work at a job, having a degree helps, but it's becoming less and less required, but a lot of people still have it. And so I'm in that position where like I don't really care for it because I'm always kind of looking for I already work. And if I wasn't working, I would just find another job through networking connections. I'm not leaving Strappy, by the way. I love Strappy. But I like for me to get another job, like I have the experience already. And then like if someone said to me, what is the most ideal thing that you want to do? Well, the most ideal thing is I want to continue to work at Strappy while I continue to learn things in AI and see where the things are going until I come up with a useful idea or a problem that I could solve with AI and all the things that I'm going to learn about AI and create a SaaS product around it. That would be like my ideal goal, and that's what I would want to do. And thank you again for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and so to me, this is like something I'm exploring and going to do. I started the process already. And so if you're there and you hear me talk about, oh, Paul's going back to school, it's because he couldn't get it. No, you could get a job without a college degree. Is it easy? No, it's not. But it's possible. I talk a lot about how to do it. I'm going to continue talk about it. Number two is if you're young and you're thinking like, do I go to school or do I not go to school? Especially if your parents could help you pay for it, 100% go. Like, because like to get a degree, it's not going to hurt you. And number two, like the most important part about college education is you go in person and you hang out and you meet friends and meet people and you build connections. One of my friends who went to Dartmouth, he finished with like a finance degree. The people he met in college helped him, number one, to find additional job opportunities, really good for networking. And then they eventually became his client because he does some money managing and stuff like that. And so it's like, there's so many opportunities there. And so let's like definitely ask more questions. Would love to see more chat going on. Like, you know, I don't want to talk too much about myself. And by the way, this is why on my YouTube channel, you see me kind of start talking more about AI, and I'm not doing it in the hypey way like 80% of like channels out there, but I'm just trying to like, oh, what the hell is LangChain? Let me build something with LangChain. That would be cool. You know what I mean? But one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about though quickly, like if I were to give a pro tip here. So when you're doing stuff there, especially if you're self-taught developer, you need to be able to kind of, number one, continue talking about code so you could better understand it. Number two, you have to create other ways outside of projects that kind of showcase your expertise or your level or the skill of the things you're learning. So don't write blogs for the sake of blogging, like for SEO, where you just write a bunch of stupid short little blogs just to say, look, I did it. But what I started to do, and I don't blog like much. I don't have like a blogging platform. I have like a website where I put notes for myself, but I don't really care if people read it. But what I recently started to do, and this is something that will help you, in my mind, a way better developer, because it's been helping me, and it's going to help you do three things. Number one, it will help you with documented what you learned. Number two, it'll help you to improve your technical writing. And number three, you now have a resource that you could go back to outside of your code to kind of see what the hell you did. And then you could, if you want, either publish the articles on your own website, or you could submit them to be published somewhere else. So let me quickly, before we do like lots of questions, do a quick kind of workflow of what I do. And this is something I started to, blockchains, I'm just not going to touch that stuff. I'm not going to work that. Bogey, I'm going to go part-time. It's not going to interfere with anything I'm doing on Strappy. Jesus Christ. I love Strappy. I never want to leave. No, but I do want to build some cool stuff with AI for Strappy. I'm like really excited about it. And thoughts on blockchain, that's one thing like I have no thoughts on, because that's not an area that I have any expertise in. So if like, I'll be able to tell you like just as good useful information as ChatGPT when it hallucinates about blockchains. To me, I'm going heavy on. So these are the two things I'm focusing. Number one, I don't want to be a DevOps guy. I don't want to be like a complete backend developer that lives in infrastructure. What I want to do, my path is I want to be client-facing developer who solves business problems for businesses. And what I want to do is know enough about artificial intelligence, all the different models available, and understand how they all work to be able to create solutions for those businesses by building applications. So I don't want to be a data scientist who makes sense of the data. I just want to understand machine learning in enough of a scope to be able to coherently understand the business problem and know realistically what AI technologies could solve the problem for them, and then build that application from that perspective. But anyway, here's the tip that I wanted to share quickly here. So what I started to do every time I write code, let me share my screen, because I realized I'm already like talking about the code in my mind. I'm already, working through it. And so I have what I started to do. Instead of every project that I build, I will create a README file. And the README file will not just be about how does the project work, how, how to get started with it, but it'll literally be how I build the thing that I'm building. And so it literally becomes like a blog post or self-documentation that explains like how I build this thing. And so what I realized, since I'm already coding, and like everybody should be familiar with Markdown because it's the fastest way to write stuff, I could just take my notes in Markdown, then I could easily transfer into a blog post. And so now all my new projects that are serious, like I'm treating not like as throwaway projects, are going to have the code base, and then they're going to have the thing that I wrote about. So if somebody wanted to go through it and learn from my learning experience, they could do it. And I could share this link. But what's awesome, though, you don't have to, but you can, once you write this, because you already document your code, you already wrote a blog post, you could go to websites like, well, because I work at Strappy, we published this article at Strappy, but you could also go to websites like dev.to, publish articles and share articles that you wrote, which is pretty awesome. And you could share on LinkedIn to build experience. So I just wanted to share this quick tidbit is where you're already writing the code, and you probably should be writing better README files. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like documenting stuff. So I was like, well, why not just, instead of just for the sake of documenting, let me write a post on what I've learned that I could use as notes to review, quickly look up what I'm doing, and then to share it. And so here's what I did. And let me kind of go back here to the chat because I do want to answer some questions. So let's see here. Thoughts on them? Yep. Blockchain school only can get much better, but won't happen until blockchain no longer gets direct association with scamming. Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I had commented on your Strappy and Remix video app live stream. Let me know if your solution works for you. Yeah, I'll have to take a look. I've been like kind of like, again, like I don't do YouTubing as career. Strappy and Remix video app live stream. I know I had a comment, by the way. Somebody asked me about some of my VS Code extensions, and there's one that someone like really liked. You don't see it now, but let's say I do something like this. I get error messages inline. And someone was wondering what that was. Actually, let me go back here. I realized I'm not sharing my screen. So somebody was wondering like what extension I use that shows errors inline. So if I fix the console log misspell, the error will go away. And it shows a bunch of errors. So people were wondering what extension it was. To be honest, I don't remember what it was, but I'm going to look and find it. So these are all the extensions I have. I have Docker, GitHub Copilot, blah, whatever. But let me find the extension that this one is. Error Lens. It's called Error Lens, and amazing extension. If you're learning TypeScript and you want to hate your life, use Error Lens in a TypeScript project. Everything, like your freaking VS Code is going to be on fire. It's going to be all red. But I highly recommend Error Lens. Amazing plugin. Go check it out. Go install it into your thing. And then Niphe Mata says, I had comment on your Strappy and Remix video app live stream. Let me know if the solution works for you, and I will check it out. Thank you so much for commenting that. Yeah, like YouTube, like trying to catch up with comments has been like so hard for me. So I'm sure I will get to it and check out the solution. And by the way, that's another reason I need to get back. Like I know I used to like code live stream live. A lot of people don't like watching that stuff, which is weird to me, which I get it. It's boring, right? But the one reason that I like to stream live is because a lot of people have been, if they're live, they'll give me advice to troubleshoot my code. So it's kind of like pair programming. And number two, in the comments, which is pretty awesome. And Bogey, my feeling is Strappy marketing is going to hate me. Lol, in the next month. Listen, we'll work through it. We'll do what needs to be done. Sexy read. Yep. Red. Sexy red. I can't write or read. What's your opinion on front-end masters? Yes, let's go front-end masters. So front-end masters. Front-end masters. So there's front-end mentors, which is an amazing website. Front-end, if you're starting out and you just don't have any ideas what to build, going to front-end mentors and doing their example projects is amazing. I know they have intermediate, beginner. And I think like if you do a lot of their intermediate projects, that's like a good type of project to put on your resume. But Nabil is asking about front-end masters. The thing I love about front-end masters is that it's awesome because everybody here's a pro. And you could see that I have a subscription to front-end masters. The issue with front-end masters, it is expensive. It's $50 a month. And so you could find a lot of classes on Udemy for way cheaper and buy them there. The reason I love front-end masters, everybody who's here, they're a developer and an expert in their field. They're not a YouTuber like me, right? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong learning from YouTubers, but if like for instance, why I justify spending $50 a month on this is because every course here is taught by a developer who's working in the industry. Primogen, everybody knows Primogen. His YouTube channel is insane, but he has courses here. Kyle Simpson, he wrote You Don't Know JS, like amazing book series on JavaScript. So everybody here is amazing. So if you can afford it, 100% get front-end masters. And I don't get any kickback for recommending them, but they're an amazing site, great place. So I'll show you quickly the resources that I use. So I use front-end masters. I use, of course, Udemy still to this day. Another resource that I learned is I use Coursera. And so right now I'm going through mathematics for machine learning, linear algebra. And so the cool thing about Coursera, you could audit all their courses. You could also pay for the courses if you like, but just take them for free, audit. And then another cool academy, I don't know how to spell academy. And so another one is I do Khan Academy. And what's awesome about it, they have like if you need to brush up on math or anything like that, like Khan Academy is the best. And so preparing for my Coursera linear algebra course, I took and did a refresher on Khan Academy of math, which is pretty awesome. Do I finish all my Trish, come on. What kind of question is that? Do you finish all your Udemy courses, Paul? I have over 800 courses in Udemy. I only finished like 15. Okay, I'm exaggerating. I probably finished only 10 of them. Dude, the Udemy was designed for addicts to go and spend $12 on a course that they're never going to take. And that's their business model. And we feel like we learned something, but we didn't. So I have way too many classes on Udemy. So because I invested so much money in Udemy, what I started doing every time I go for a walk, I'll take my iPad and I just watch Udemy courses, like just so I could say like I got my $12 worth. But good Lord, and all this stuff adds up. And so for me, the resources that I'm learning currently from is Khan Academy, Coursera Online. I use this one for a very particular thing, Remix. There's a good course here on Remix, and then Next.js 13, there's a great intro course. By the way, I really love Remix, but Next is pretty good too. And I talked about Khan Academy. And the last resource I use, which is expensive too, brilliant.org. I don't know how to, whatever, spell things ever. Brilliant.org. This is expensive, but it's so interactive that it makes learning fun. Like if Brilliant were to sponsor me, I would be, this is like amazing, but it is expensive. If you want to go like the affordable route, I would say Khan Academy, Coursera. Coursera, by the way, here's the interesting thing. This right here, Meta, I was kind of surprised. Meta Front-End Developer Professional Certificate. I'm not saying certificates matter, but I was like pretty impressed of how good this course was. But you could audit a lot of the courses on Coursera for free. So if you're going the free route, Khan Academy, audit courses on Coursera. If you're going slightly paid classes, I would say Udemy, then Front-End Masters. And if you want to play on your phone like a game, but actually learn something, brilliant. And those are kind of like the resources that I'm kindly going for. And what about courses, Meta Front-End Developer course? Yeah, it's pretty good. Like what I liked about it, I'm still like, I didn't finish it. I'm not like it's very basic for where I am. But what I like about this course, well, maybe it's not that basic, but I just didn't go through far enough of it. I gotta just but the cool thing about it, in their first section, they give you a really good general overview of like, you know, what is the internet? How does the internet work? How does the client talk to the server? And so you get some of this general ideas about the web that maybe you have missed. And I like it because it's very, very structured, and it's a good kind of barometer to kind of see if you're making progress. So I really like this. But again, this is part of their paid version. I don't know if you could audit this course. Maybe you can. You probably should be, but it adds up. Like Coursera monthly, it's like $50. And they have like certain courses. Like I've been really enjoying the AI courses. What was it called? Deep AI. Yeah, deep learning. Hold on a second. I'll show you the thing. Yeah, anything taught by Andrew Ng. But he's from Deep Learning AI. And so their courses you have to pay for them separate. And so it all adds up quickly. By the way, let me show you another pro tip before you go. Anybody playing with ChatGPT as a developer, here's what you need to do. You need to go to Deep Learning AI, go to courses, and take the, AI for Everyone, amazing course, but it just talks about like the reality of like, is AI going to take our jobs, where it's at? But what I would say for anybody, what you need to do, there's one course that you need to take, and I don't see it here. What the hell? Machine learning are courses. It's not advanced, general. Good Lord, like, how come it's not showing up on their main site? God damn it. Like I gotta Google it. Hold on. I'll show you this. This is an amazing course I just did. Prompting for developers. It's short and sweet. I can't spell. Prompt engineering for developers. I'll throw the link. This will be my recommendation for everybody who's looking to play with ChatGPT and programmatically build apps. Go ahead and check out this amazing course. It's really awesome. And this kind of comes back to this idea of, figuring out where you're at and trying to figure out like what you want to do. And so there's so much stuff to learn. You need to really rein yourself in, and you have your general knowledge like front-end developer. And for me now, I'm trying to focus more on AI-related development. First, consuming existing APIs and models because I don't know enough about it to create it myself. But this is a great course about it. And so for me, like, I know HTML, I know CSS, I know JavaScript, I'm learning TypeScript. So once, like, my next language of choice is Python. Why? Because a lot of the stuff in Python in AI is done with Python. And a lot of people share their code base in what they call Jupyter notebooks. And so Jesus Christ. How did I didn't want to sign up. Oh my God. I already have an account. Good Lord. No, I don't want to join in with LinkedIn. But I wanted to show you. Anyway, forget it. It doesn't matter. It's like basically Jupyter Notebook. Let me, it's pretty cool. Notebook code example, whatever. Oh no, this is documentation. I wanted to see example Jupyter Python notebook. All right. Anyway, God damn it. Forget I said it. Anyway, like I'm started to learn Python. If you decide to learn Python, I was just going to say the best place to start is start going through people's Jupyter notebooks where you could run your Python right inside the notebook and see what the code does. And so it's a very easy introduction and great way to learn. Anyway, let me quickly look at the stream because I have to go to jiu-jitsu in a little bit. But first, let me see here what people say. We talked about the course on Meta. Paul, I'm also pursuing web development as a self-taught learner, HTML, CSS. And after completing JavaScript, can I be a pseudo web developer as a start? So what I would say after you learn JavaScript, learn React and Next.js because so many companies are using it and it is going to make you way more hireable, but it doesn't mean that you can't start applying, you know, like start applying as early as possible just to get the practice of going through the process and applying for things. Northern Chip says very true, at least for Udemy making money making model, but I really learned from John Smilga. John Smilga is the best. His courses helped me the most to be job ready when I got my first job. And we going to at some point get back to doing web dev power hour stream. I'm going to keep you posted on that. And the same attitude, one course and do it. They're not, they should get in trouble for their harassment policy of courses. Anyway, for sure. Oh, Meta frontend or frontend masters. If you should choose a job, I would go with frontend masters because there's way more resources, and you'll get, I think I would go with frontend masters, but keep an eye. Like once I finish the Meta certificate, I'm not like going to build all the projects. I'm just going to go through all the materials. I'll let you know, but I would go with front-end masters. Buy and not buy. I got you. So what I wanted to say that I am going to try to get back to regular streaming. A lot of the so I'll do this Saturday 10 a.m. stream like I did today, talking about stuff like I talked about today. Q&A, I think will be good. A lot of the other content you're going to see from me is going to be related to what I'm doing. So it's going to be a lot of like front-end stuff and how to work with like build projects using AI because I think it's fun and you're still learning the core web development. I don't know if I'm still trying to figure out, should I do like live coding and code or should I do where I build something cool and I just talk about and give an overview how I build? I don't know what's going to be more entertaining, but I just know a lot of people like more talking head videos, entertaining videos rather than videos that do how. And for me, I'm going to continue focus on just making the content that I want to make because I'm the one that is interested in learning that thing. And then if somebody else likes it, they could watch it, of course, rather than making content for the sake of YouTube because I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a developer and that'll be hilarious. I like that idea. It would be funny if you just stream the working day in your life. Dude, I would have to, that would be interesting. If I do that, Bram, I would have to keep the community office hours actually on schedule, meaning if we start at 12:30, we end at 1:30. And then we don't have some of the discussions that you, Sphere, and Cameron have where I have to quickly go and leave because I have to take a lunch because I don't want to participate in it. I mean, I'm kidding, of course. But hey, if you want to talk to me more, especially about Strappy and building things with Strappy, you can always join the Strappy Discord, open office hours from 12:30 p.m. CST to 1:30 p.m. Sometimes you go more. And yeah, live coding. Yeah, I'll have to do that. And I'm gonna make some tutorials as well. I think it'll be cool. And again, it's gonna be probably a lot of stuff with web development, Strappy, and OpenAI API, and trying to build cool things with AI, because that's something that I'm learning right now. And then I'll make other videos as well in terms of how to stay motivated, how to continue, and what you need to do to get hired. But with that being said, I love you all. I do have to run, and I always end the stream with some bad music that I wrote, so I'm gonna be no different. So you could leave now, or you could enjoy the song. Hopefully the audio works. I don't know. I forgot. I don't remember. But thank you so much. You are all amazing. Have a great rest of the weekend. If you're in the US and you celebrate 4th of July, and bless you, your families. Lots of love. And I'll see you all in the next stream. Take care, everybody.